Hi, and welcome back to Treasurefield Homestead. This Labor Day weekend, I went to the Oregon State Fair and watched my first goat show. It was the Miniature Dairy Goat Association, that's the MDGA, and I watched the Miniature Nubian show. And this was my first goat show. I only have one goat that is registered with the MDGA, that is Tin Fang, but he is a wether. And there were actually no male goats shown in the show at all, but I don't think the MDGA has any shows where you can show wethers anyways. So I wasn't here to show a goat, but I did come away with a pretty decent prize because I actually ended up buying one of the goats that's being shown. And I was actually attending so I could pick her up. So she is the goat all the way on the left hand side of the screen, the little black one there. She's a black and tan 4-month-old miniature Nubian doeling. She was born early May. She is a few months younger than Tin Fang, but she's already bigger than him. And her name is Juby. That's G-U-B-Y. I think it's because her mom's name was Jubilee. So in this clip, Juby is at the back of the line, and she is being shown in the youngest group of miniature Nubians. She's being shown as a junior doeling, and all of these does, there's 7 of them. They were all born, I believe, between April 1st and June 1st, so they're all babies. They're all about the same age as Juby is. And they're walking around so that the judge can get an idea of what they look like in movement. He also takes a look at them, what they look like when they're standing still, what kind of features that they have that indicate that they will be a good dairy goat in the future when they have kids and can produce milk. That's going to be pretty far in the future. She's not going to be old enough to be bred until next year, but even at this age, you can kind of see some of those characteristics, and that's what he's looking for.
One of the top 2 goats to look at today in this class from a standpoint that I felt she excelled the dairiness compared to our second place kid, but at the same time showed us a little more dairy character about the head and the ear, and had a little more desirable set to the foreleg as far as how they are placed more squarely under the wither, more so than we have in our doe here in 2 over 3.
So hopefully that wasn't too hard to hear, but Juby won first place. I was very excited to see that, and the judge had some nice things to say about her. And what he does is for each doe, he explains why he chose that doe over the one behind it. And so I'm hoping that information will be useful to me in the future when I'm selecting a buck to breed her to. I'm going to need to select a buck that will retain her best characteristics and improve on her worst characteristics. I don't know too much about miniature Nubians or goat conformation, so getting the opinion of the judge is very valuable. So I do plan to show her in future shows just for that aspect, to get an idea of what she needs to be improved on and what she can help improve on in another goat. So because Juby won first place in her age group, she got to move on to the Grand Champion selection. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, the Grand Champion lineup, whatever it's called. All of these goats won first place in their group for junior doelings. So that's going to be all the doelings that have not yet been in milk. So from Juby's age group, where they're only a couple months old, all the way up to dry yearlings, which are around a year old and they haven't had any kids yet. So Juby is the youngest out of all these goats that have won first place. And whoever the judge selects out of this group is going to win Grand Champion. And whoever wins second place is going to get Reserve Champion. Now, Juby being the youngest, I didn't have any high hopes that she was going to win, and she did not win either of those 2 titles. But if she had won, I think they need 3 Grand Champion titles in order to have finish champion added to their name. So that's a goal for the future. Like maybe if I show her in more shows, maybe if she wins a couple grand championships, she will earn a fancy title. But for now, I was just happy that she won first place in her own age group. And I actually didn't expect her to win anything. I was just really excited to be buying a new goat, to be honest. I told her owner, her previous owner, when we were arranging to buy her, and she said that she was planning to show her in a show. I was like, ooh, that'll be great. And I thought she said, oh, I don't expect her to win anything. And I said, that's okay. It'll just be cool to see her. And then I went back and read the messages, and she actually said that she did expect her to win something. And so I was very pleasantly surprised that she won. And I thought Juby was done after that, but she actually came back out for this other thing, which is the best get of sire. So it's a competition where you take 3 does, I think of any age group, that are all from the same father, the same buck, the same sire. And so all 3 of the does that you just saw, they all have the same dads, and they were actually the only group that was shown for the miniature Nubians. So they automatically won. And this is her resting afterwards. You can see she gets along great with her old herd mates. And then this is just a little Nigerian dwarf that was cute. And then I got Juby all loaded up and brought her home. And she is fitting in pretty nicely. Tolki does not like her. Tin Fang and her are getting along pretty well, though. And she is still being bottle fed. So that's where Vinny's milk comes in handy. I feed her, I milk Vinny, and then I put it in a bottle and feed it to Juby. Juby apparently wasn't very friendly before, but bottle feeding her has helped her bond to me pretty quickly. And she also had a livestock guardian dog at the farm that she came from. So she's the only goat that isn't afraid of Diogenes, who I'm training. So that's been really nice because it gives him an opportunity to bond with a goat, whereas the other ones don't really let him get close enough for that. And in fact, Tolki, my herd queen, actually tries to attack him, which has made things very complicated. But he gets along great with Juby, and Juby gets along great with him. This is the first day meeting each other, and she does not care at all that he's there. She did pick up a cold from the show, so she snores heavily. Thankfully, it's been a while, and by now, most of her symptoms, if not all of them, are gone. She coughed for like 1 day, and then after that, the symptoms all kind of went away, except for her nose was kind of gross looking for a bit. But she is doing much better now. She gets along very well with Tin Fang, which is good because part of Tin Fang's job is to be friends with her when I take the older 2 does to be bred this fall. She's going to stay behind with Tin Fang, and he's going to make sure she doesn't feel lonely. And then, maybe in the future, if I get a buck, he'll be friends with the buck instead. But for now, Juby needs him, and he's a good friend to her. And it's also been really nice having a use for all the milk that I'm milking from my doe Vinny. I have a video of the wethers all being born, but there were 4 wethers born this spring to my 2 does. Tin Fang and his brother Silly belonged to my herd queen Tolki, and then Vinny, who I'm milking, she had Weedy and Potato. But when those 2 were sold, she had no one left to nurse, and I decided to start milking her, and now that milk is being put to good use. I don't think there's anything much left. I don't think there's much left, girl. I don't think there's anything left. Nope, there's nothing left.